So hello and good evening. This is Ruth Pasola from Curbal.com and it is Friday again. Gosh, time flies. Anyhow, good news is Friday. Even better news is DAX Fridays. So we are going to do part 2 of the video that we released last Friday. If you haven't seen it, go check it out. You can still watch this video by itself, but I really recommend you to get most value of it to actually watch the other one first. Something will pop up on one of the corners or a link in the description box below. Go and watch it first and then come here to see part 2. So for those of you that watch it, let's go. Okay, so let's do a quick recap of what we did last Friday. What we actually did was, I'll show you how to create a DAX measure, how to think around how to create it. And we were using the Northwind dataset as usual, and we were calculating the average number of product categories per customer. To do that, we actually use, let me show you, it's easier. So this is the Northwind dataset, the file that we use. You will be able to download it down below. And to do that calculation, we actually use the function called summarized. And the reason for that is because it's a very visual way to see what's going on in the background. We use summarize with addcolumns, as we learned that summarize is perhaps not like super effective. That gave us the wrong results. So we use summarize addcolumns with calculate to get the right results. And this is like a really good way of how things are working in the background and which tables are being created, but there are actually better ways, or other ways, better it depends, better other ways to create the same measure. And what we are going to do is we're going to create these directly using AverageX, because if we look at the last measure we created, I think it's this one. So we're using AverageX and then addcolumns and then summarize and then another calculate. So you're like, oh Lord, do I really need to do this? Well, no. So you will find out as you become more proficient in DAX that there are 1,000 ways you can calculate the same thing. And depending on how your model looks like, one thing will be better than others. So don't be afraid, just go for it, write something, even if it's not the most effective, make it work, because then you understand what you need and then you can improve it and optimize it. Okay, so you probably won't get the best DAX measure right from the bat, but that shouldn't stop you for trying. Okay, no, really. Just write something that works and then you can think about optimizing later if you need to. What we're going to do is we're going to use AverageX directly. So if we look here, we have AverageX, and then we created this small table. We have it here. With calculate. So we created this small table virtually, and then we did the AverageX of these. The thing is that you can actually create this table without actually using summarize. So add AverageX will do it for you. Let's give it a go. We go to new measure and we write AverageX and then AverageX. So if you remember how AverageX function works, I will put a link in the description below if you want to watch that specific DAX Fridays video. Otherwise, something will pop up right hand corner, I think. But what you need is you need a table and you need an expression. So the table that we're going to pass through AverageX is actually a list of customer ID from the order table. So what does value does, I have a video on that. Description below or popping up here, you can go and check that what value does. But what this is going to do is going to return a list of customers' IDs from the order table. Okay, and this is the table that AverageX needs to make the calculation. And what we need to do then is just the distinct count of the category ID from the product table. And we put this thing in there. And as you can see, it works. It gives us the results, but it's again giving us these wrong totals. We spoke about why on the previous video, go watch it. But we also spoke about how to fix this. So how to fix so there is a relationship between the orders and product tables. I said that you will be able to watch this alone, so why don't we look at it? So we are asking to put these two tables together. There is no direct relationship. And for the totals, it's not going to be able to give us the answer. The filters will propagate correctly row by row, but it will not do it for the totals. So what we are going to do is we're going to fix it exactly the same way we did before. Average, I really recommend you to go and watch previous video. We are going to have the average of the, the table for the customer ID. Nothing changed there, but ouch. In there, we are actually going to have calculate that is going to help pass the filter for customer ID. And if you just write calculate distinct count category ID, and you put it in there, voila, voila, it is working perfectly. So calculate has actually helped pass the filter, this customer ID, this table on the totals row, because remember, when you see these totals, it's not like Excel. So total is not the average of all these. This is creating a new table by itself. Okay, so the filter has to be passed. It's not. And to do that, you just use calculate. I hope that it makes sense. Otherwise, previous video, give it a go. So again, this is working because we had this double relationship. If we remove that, single, disaster, disaster, nothing will work, okay? So how are we going to solve this? Well, in next DAX Fridays videos, we will create exactly the same calculations, but we will not use this bidirectional relationship, okay? We are going to leave it as it is, single, and do the calculation with a function that will force this relationship to set to double, okay? So you will see how that is done. And this is effective if you have big tables. You don't want these bidirectional relationships, they cost a lot. But we will talk about it in the next video. So another way to write the same calculation. Okay? So this is all for today. I hope you enjoyed this mini video too. Make sure you don't miss part 3 next week. And if you like the video, just let me know as usual by liking it, then I know if I should continue doing this type of videos or not. If you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe. 3 times a week I publish Power BI videos, and click the bell to receive notifications when I publish new videos. Other than that, have a fantastic week and all. Okay, take care, bye.